I want to express our nation's deepest condolences and most heartfelt sympathies to the family of George Floyd. A terrible event, terrible, terrible thing that happened. I've asked that the Department of Justice expedite the federal investigation into his death and do it immediately, do it as quickly as absolutely possible. We also have to make the statement, and it's very important, that we have peaceful protesters and support the rights for peaceful protesters. We can't allow a situation like happened in Minneapolis to descend further into lawless anarchy and chaos, and we understand that very well. It's very important, I believe, to the family, to everybody, that the memory of George Floyd be a perfect memory. Let it be a perfect memory. The looters should not be allowed to drown out the voices of so many peaceful protesters. They hurt so badly what is happening, and it's so bad for the state and for that great city.
It's obviously been a long day for a lot of Americans, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to address some of your tweets from this morning. You tweeted, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." How would you know that phrase and not know its racially charged history?
Well, I've heard that phrase for a long time. I don't know where it came from, where it originated. I view that phrase as...
In 1967, the Miami police
Well, I don't know.
chief
I've also
used it.
heard from many other places, but I've heard it for a long time, as most people have. And frankly, it means when there's looting, people get shot and they die. And if you look at what happened last night and the night before, you see that. It's very common. And that's the way that was meant, and that's the way I think it was supposed to be meant. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the past, you've criticized NFL players for their protest against police brutality. Given what we've seen with George Floyd and what we saw with the delays in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, does that change your views around those NFL protests? And also, given that you had a message for those in the streets in Minneapolis, do you have a statement to make about the police that are involved in such police brutality incidents?
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw at all. I thought it was a terrible thing, a terrible picture. I think that it's sad in so many ways from the standpoint of the family. When you look at George Floyd and his family and you see what that's done to them, I know the Justice Department is also looking at it very strongly.
Does that change your views around like the NFL protests?
Say it again, I can't.
Does that change your views around the NFL protests on this issue? They were peaceful protests. Does that change your stance on that at all?
Yeah, it should be a peaceful protest. I think really, in memory of George Floyd, I think it should be peaceful. It's terrible. He spoke with his family today. Terrific people. I think it's so bad for the memory when you see a thing like that going on.
It certainly seems like you're sympathetic to some of the frustration expressed by the protesters last night. I want to ask you, first off, do you think there were good people out protesting in Minneapolis last night?
Did you say, were there
good people among the protesters? And then also more broadly, what is your message to Black Americans and others who just are really frustrated and saddened to see another video of a Black man being killed in police custody?
Well, certainly there were a lot of different people, and there were good people too, and they were protesting, and they were protesting for the right reason. They were protesting in honor of a man, George Floyd, where something happened that shouldn't have happened, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Certainly something happened that shouldn't have happened. And yeah, you had a lot of people out there that were protesting out of sorrow, and then you had people that got out of control, some people. And they did I think they did a great disservice to their state and to their city and to really our country, what they did last night. And we brought in the National Guard today, and they're there, and that won't happen again. It can't happen again. We can never let that happen again. That was run by the mayor of a city, and it got, in all fairness to him, he was in a tough position, but I don't think they were very well prepared. But we brought in the National Guard. They'll be very prepared tonight. Thank you all very much. Thank you, please. Thank you.